Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Admiral Thomas, I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions about some activity that's going on in or proposed activity that's going on in the Hudson River Valley area of New York that I represent. First, let me just say thank you for your service. Thank you for the work that the Coast Guard does. I think all of us really appreciate how difficult and how important the mission is. I wanted to draw your attention to a matter of great local concern, which is a proposal to create 10 new anchorage sites along the Hudson River. You have a rulemaking process that's underway right now. We're talking about sites from Yonkers, New York, up to Kingston. We're talking about over 1,000 acres of the river, 43 new sites. These are massive oil barges that would be docked and anchored in an archipelago that would stretch for miles up the Hudson River, creating effectively an oil pipeline in the center of the river. This would be in addition to the massive number of oil trains and oil shipments that are occurring along the CSX line on the west bank of the Hudson River. So this has generated, as you might imagine, intense local concern that crosses all sorts of party lines and all sorts of layers of government. You've had people from the Democratic mayor of Yonkers say this is going to destroy their waterfront revitalization program. You see the conservative county executive of Westchester agreeing with them. Same is true for the Republican county executive of Dutchess County, the Democratic county executive of Ulster County, groups like Riverkeeper and Scenic Hudson that are worried about the river. And here's the point. The point is that we believe this is a solution in search of a problem, that there is no need for these additional anchorage sites for several reasons. First, they already exist. They're simply spaced differently. Secondly, they are predicated on the notion that there will continue to be a massive increase in the number of oil shipments required down the Hudson River, when in fact the significant compression in the price of oil globally has created a glut, and we've seen a reduction in shipments, so that the infrastructure that's been contemplated may not be in any way necessary. And yet we're moving aggressively forward on this process. Now, I want to thank you for responding to my request and others to extend the comment period for this through December. That's a great first start. But I'd really like to draw your attention to it, because the fact is that this is a bad idea. This is not something we need. We don't want it. And we want the process to take into account the intense local opposition to this from all corners of all communities in the Hudson Valley. So I just want to take the opportunity today to draw your attention to that and ask for your commitment that when the public hearings occur, that one, they will occur in a early and a timely way, and that they will be local, and that they will take into account as many of these local viewpoints as they possibly can. Because at this point in the process, I can tell you that the people in the Hudson Valley feel as though their voices have not been heard on this proposal, and they're very concerned with the rate at which it's moving. So we appreciate the additional time to comment, but I'd really like your commitment on really including local voices in the public hearings that should occur locally and that need to happen sooner rather than later.
Congressman Maloney, thank you for bringing that issue to my attention. I am very much aware of it, and I will say that as a previous captain of port myself, I'm very sensitive to local issues and the intense interest in what happens on local waterways. The increased activity on the Hudson River is a symptom of the increased pressure on our marine transportation system. The Coast Guard is trying to manage the risk. The anchorages themselves, as you point out, don't create the increased vessel traffic. Those anchorages are just one means that we're exploring to manage the increased risk associated with more crude oil moving down the river, more products moving up the river. I've spoken with the district commander, Admiral Steve Poulin, in fact, just yesterday about this topic. He is committed to full and open dialogue with regard to this regulation, and he's totally open to all the alternatives that are out there to help manage this risk. So we can commit to you that there will be plenty of opportunity for comment, not only to the record, but also through public meetings.
Thank you very much. Yield back, Mr. Chairman.